Well, back home, new tonight, video of Texas Department of Public Safety troopers helping during an immigration operation. Our crew spotted DPS, Homeland Security Investigations officers, and ICE agents along North Lamar near Rundeberg Lane. We noticed they detained a man who appeared to be driving a silver Toyota Corolla. Now, witnesses told our crew the young man was pulled over after being involved in a fight. No word yet if the man detained in the video was arrested. DPS sent KXAN a statement and said a strike team helped with an operation in North Austin. It went on to say, quote, "These efforts are part of DPS's continued collaboration with federal law enforcement partners, namely ICE and HSI, to combat illegal immigration and arrest criminal illegal immigrants." They also deferred us to ICE for any other information.
County released the arrest affidavit for the man suspected of arson at Savages Hill Country Bar and Grill, giving us really a detailed look at that investigation. 24-year-old Aiden Dwyer, a former employee of the bar, was arrested Monday in East Texas. Hays County arson investigators found evidence of flammable liquid around the bar, and both the fire alarm system and security cameras were disabled before the fire. That's according to the affidavit. The document also mentions another former employee currently hospitalized with burns. Now, the affidavit notes that the hospital staff found cleaning chemicals on him and that investigators say those are often used to clean up evidence. Thank you so much. We do have new information now on a homicide we brought you as breaking news yesterday at this time.
Police say they believe a deadly stabbing started as violence between roommates. Investigators say they found 72-year-old Ronald Mixon stabbed to death inside an apartment in the 400 block of East Wonesley Drive. That's near 183 and I-35. They say his roommate, 61-year-old Robert Saldana, was found at a nearby bus stop with a serious laceration of his own. Saldana was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Police say officers had been called to the same home earlier in the day following a dispute between the two men. Saldana is charged with first-degree murder.
Some in Central Texas said they just received a notice saying their water bills are rising so much they're worried they won't be able to pay.
Our Sam Stark looks at what's behind the rate increase.
About a week ago, I went to get the mail like usual, and there was a packet in there from Aqua Texas, my water company.
Elena White lives in the Travis County subdivision estates of Shady Hollow. She said she thumbed through the large packet.
It was a lot of paperwork and it was very confusing for the average customer. I did not understand it. I just saw the huge increase.
She said Aqua Texas indicated her water bill would go from around $150 to $300 a month, starting on July 25th.
I felt angry because it was a month's notice and it's not a reasonable amount to increase all at once.
Aqua Texas told me that it is making a base rate adjustment for all its customers statewide. While it did not refute White's claim, it said the majority of its customers will see their rates go up 20 to 30%. It said the rate increase is necessary so it can, quote, continue to modernize and upgrade our water and wastewater treatment plants, wells, pipelines, and related infrastructure.
I'm astounded that somebody's rates could go up that much in one cycle.
Laura Nice is an environmental attorney who represented clients who opposed Aqua Texas's last proposal to increase rates. She said, among other things, the last proposal did not have enough supporting documentation to justify the increase. In January of this year, the Texas Public Utilities Commission agreed.
Rather than even just trying to adjust their rates to something lower, something more realistic, they denied the application outright.
ICE said she expects the new proposal to once again go in front of the Public Utilities Commission. While some may see higher rate increases, Aqua Texas said others will see their bills drop or stay the same. That depends on water usage. Sam Stark, KXAN News.
And Aqua Texas said the request is to help recuperate nearly $700 million in infrastructure investments it already made between 2004 and the end of 2024.
Going in depth, utilities and landlords can increase rates, but they have to follow specific rules set out by Texas statutes, and utility companies have to file a statement of intent to change rates at least 35 days before they go into effect. They also have to let customers know by mail, and cities that regulate water utilities facilities have 60 days after they decide to change rates to send to customers that notice. That's according to Texas statutes.
Now, this story about Aqua Texas started as a tip from a viewer. If you have something you would like us to look into, just let us know. You can find the Report It form on our homepage. Just look for the big blue button labeled Report It on the right side of the screen. Well, the city of Austin will release its proposed budget to the public next week, and one of the focal points will be homelessness.
And KXAN's Grace Reader talked with city leaders about how much they may need to address that issue.
When the City of Austin releases its proposed budget next week, you can expect City Council members to be laser focused on how much the city is spending on homelessness. Earlier this year, they voted to make that issue a top financial priority for the city starting this budget cycle.
We're positioning our investments in the homelessness response system as one of the City of Austin's top funding priorities, which is critical. And you've heard it before, we'll say it again, our budget is our moral compass. Where we put our money is where our heart is.
So how much is that exactly?
What we've identified is that the total price tag to build a truly responsive homeless response system is just under $101 million.
That's a big number, but David Gray, the city's homeless strategy officer, says think of that number sliced into thirds. 1/3 being one-time funding already allocated by council, like pandemic relief funding.
The second third is new ongoing investments that we're asking the city to consider. And then the last third is money that we are looking to other system funders to contribute.
When the budget drops next week, you're not going to see this all jammed in there. Gray says this number more like a roadmap for how the city may significantly decrease homelessness moving forward.
What can we do year one that we can afford, that's going to have a significant impact, and that's going to allow us to fill critical gaps? And then what can we do year two that's going to allow us to build off the success from year one?
Grace Reader, KXAN News.
Leo XIV has named the newest bishop of the Austin Diocese. Early today, the Pope appointed Daniel E. Garcia as Austin's 6th bishop. According to the Diocese of Austin, Garcia grew up in Waco and Cameron and was ordained as a priest for the diocese back in 1988. The former Bishop of Austin was Joe S. Vasquez, and he was appointed in March of 2010, but he was appointed Archbishop of Galveston, Houston in March of this year. The selection of the new bishop was previously put on hold after Pope Francis's death.
So you have hazardous household waste lying around. The city of Round Rock is now offering more opportunities for people to get rid of items like used batteries, paint, or cleaning products. And as KXAN's Kevin Bosker reports, Round Rock leaders feel expanding drop-off times is necessary to keep the environment safe.
Out here at Round Rock's Recycling Center, this city worker spends the day helping people who brings in items such as a bucket of old paint by the carload and make sure they don't end up in a landfill or down the drain.
We allow folks to come here and dispose of their household hazardous waste.
Michael Thane, the executive director of Public Works for Round Rock, says the move to expand drop-off times represents a welcome change. Previously, Round Rock residents only had the first Wednesday of each month to dispose of such materials. Now they have opportunities 5 days a week, Tuesday through Saturday.
As you can see, there's various chemicals in some of these materials, and we do not want them placed into the landfill.
The United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, defines household hazardous waste as leftover household products that can catch fire, react or explode, or are corrosive or toxic.
This is toxic stuff. It causes people to get ill and die sooner.
Environmental lawyer Bill Gammon applauds Round Rock for taking this step, saying more cities should follow suit.
By not doing what Round Rock is doing, you end up with a bunch of stuff in the landfill, and then that eventually percolates down, but through rainwater it becomes leachate.
We want Round Rock to always be great. We want to be leading in the environmental way and have a good community for all of us.
Kevin Bosker, KXAN News.
And disposing household hazardous waste at the center is free for Round Rock residents. Non-residents can use the service for $60.
The Travis Audubon Society, a group dedicated to bird conservation here in Central Texas, announced its first bird of the year. Meet the eastern screech owl. The KXAN viewer captured a photo of 2 of them in a nesting box, one of them with a rare reddish-brown color. So this is near the Tom Hughes Park at Lake Travis, and most of them have gray feathers for better camouflage among the trees. This pair had 2 babies, although the photos only show one of them.
Last year, a mated pair made a nest and had babies, and then they came back this year. They mate for life, so we're hoping and thinking it's the same pair that comes back.
And if you want to try your hand at birding, your best shot for seeing owls is at dawn or dusk in the spring and early summer. That's when the parents are nesting and typically staying in the same area.
To the Leander Police Department aims to help lost pets reunite with their owners. The station now has a pet microchip scanner outside of the building. Users can scan over the pet in an S pattern until an ID number pops up or doesn't pop up. The social media post announcing the scanner says it's the first self-scanning station in the area.